Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Topics and Tea. You are watching Topics and Tea. I am Natanya. You are watching Virtuous Living's channel, where we take a topic and we have our tea and we study how to be virtuous women in today's world according to God's standards. So come on in here. I am going to get my camera situated because I cannot see. So just give me 2 seconds. Come on in here and tell me what you are drinking. And tell me how you're doing today. Tell me what's going on in your life. All of that good stuff. I haven't seen you guys for 2 weeks. I do apologize, but I'm here now and I'm excited because I have got a topic that kind of excited me. All the topics excite me because I'm an exciting person because I love shooting topics and tea. But today is kind of got a cute little title. Hello, my Mama J. Hello, Mama J. And I know we didn't get to shoot the topic that Mama J inspired through a text message. I know she didn't mean to, but we're going to get to there, and it was called Get Your Rear in Gear, and I'm going to shoot it. I just felt a different direction since I missed that week, but we are going to shoot that video because it's in my head. The Lord has given me Get Your Rear in Gear and You're Behind in Line. That's a title that we give Mama J credit for. But today we've got She Steps, and let me show you what I'm drinking before we get into our title. And I shouldn't have put lotion on my hands because Jesse got on me about doing this last time. He was like, you don't realize your hands were dry before you get on camera. And so now I know I'm going to have to hear his mouth again about putting lotion on my hands. But that's okay, Jesse. I couldn't help it, okay? Just couldn't help it. I just noticed when I sat down, okay? So anyway, today's mug, I hope I don't spill it because my hands are greasy now, is from my mug that says Boss Lady. Can you see that steam? Can you see that steam on camera coming out of my tea? I literally just made it. It says Boss Lady. In the inside of the mug, it says something like, I am not bossy, I am the boss. So it's one of my favorite mugs. I'm 99% sure I've had this mug on Topics and Tea before because, like I said, it's one of my favorite mugs. I drink out of this mug often, but I love it, okay? I love it. So today inside, I have my apple cinnamon tea, and it's nothing fancy. All I've got is apple cinnamon tea bags, and I put, instead of using water, I used apple juice. Hello, Philip. Hello. And I know I didn't do that camera thing like you told me to, Philip. I'm so sorry. I was already rushing, so I apologize. I know you're gonna get on me about it later, but I will fix it next Topics and Tea. So anyway, so apple cinnamon tea is what we're drinking. Let's tell you the benefits, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into this word, okay? So apples are nutritious fruits that offer rich fiber, antioxidants. Eating them lowers risk of chronic conditions, including diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. It also promotes weight loss and improves gut and brain health. And then, of course, you guys know I love everything sweet, and I've got mine with honey. Mama J says she has the apple chai tea. Yes, Mama J, that's a good tea. I don't have any of that in my cabinet, so that needs to be in my Amazon buggy very soon. Yes, I love that apple chai tea. Hot. I don't know if I've ever had it cold, but I do like it hot. So, but we're getting into the season where I'm going to start drinking all my stuff cold because, you know, it's about to be hot outside. So probably next few Topics and Teas, maybe I'll have some colder teas to try. So honey is an anti-inflammatory, an antioxidant, and an antibacterial agent used to treat coughs and promote wound healing. And they're also good for your digestive system and your brain. Hello, Alicia. Hello, Pastor E. So we are just talking about what I was drinking out of my Boss Lady mug. My favorite colors, black and gold. Those are my second favorite colors. My favorite color is purple. So that's the mug today, and that was the tea today. So now let's get into our topic. Our topic is She Steps. Let me get my computer up here. She Steps. So I've had this topic for maybe about 2-3 months, something like that. Like I told you guys before, the Lord has given me a literally notebook full of over a year worth of topics. And sometimes I get a new topic that week. Sometimes I get one a day before. It just all depends. But this one has been a few months, and I went to go wash dishes over the weekend. I want to say it was like either Saturday morning or Sunday morning, and I kept hearing she steps, and I was like, okay, so let me break out that title and let's write a topics and tea discussion on it. She steps, STEPS. So when you steps are a part of our everyday life, right? We can't get from point A to point B without taking steps. For the moment that you wake up in the morning, you know, from the bed, you've got to go to the bathroom, you've got to go to the sink, you've got to go to the kitchen. You have to get up and take steps. Steps helps us with our exercise. It helps us to help us reach whatever we're looking for. It helps us get to someone else. It brings us closer to other things or other people. Steps are a very important part of our everyday life, and I don't think that we even think about taking steps. We just get up and do it. But just like in the natural, we have to take steps to get somewhere. We have to do the exact same thing in the spirit. So as Virtuous Women today, we're going to talk about how we take steps and the directions that we take steps, and how that applies to our lives. Okay. So let's talk about how we step up. We step up. We've all heard those phrases, step up your game, step up to the plate, or step up and take charge, and step up to the challenge, and all those type of things. What is that essentially saying? It's saying boost. It's saying come and be better. It's saying invest in yourself. It's saying elevate. It's saying do what you're supposed to do and do it to the best of your ability. And God is putting us all in a season where we need to step up our game as women, as leaders, as mothers, as daughters, as children of God, as all, whatever you are. God is calling us to step up our game. We are never perfect. There's always some way that you can do better. There's always some class that you can take to better your skills. There's always some mentor you can get under to sharpen your skills. There's always another book you can read. There's always some way that you can do better in pursuing the purpose that God has got you on this earth. But I think that the number one thing with stepping up that really got me when I was writing this is that stepping up is, yes, about having the mindset of wanting to do better. But the number one thing is being a woman of action. Because too many of us are talking about what we want to do. Too many of us are saying every single year at the beginning of the year, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to start my book. I'm going to stop this habit. I'm going to put myself back in school. I'm going to finish school. I'm going to do whatever. And then the end of the year comes, here comes November, and you're like, well, I didn't have time this year. I didn't have the money, or somebody passed away, or something. We're always making an excuse. Absolutely, Mama J, make your steps count. We're always making an excuse of why we couldn't get something done. So as virtuous women, we need to say, Lord, as I step up, let me not be about all talk. Let me not just be saying I'm stepping up with my mouth, but let me be a woman of action. We also need to think about, hello, Sugar Wugga. Hello, Shantae. Hello. We also need to say, okay, God, what is it about me if I'm always talking about stepping up my game and I am in the same place every year for 5 years? Why am I here? What is the habit that I need to break? Am I lazy? Am I a procrastinator? Is this something that is my step up? What I think I need to be step in. Is it something that yes, Mama J says, be about it, just don't talk about it. I love that. Be about it, don't just talk about it. So step up. Why aren't your feet moving, virtuous woman? What was your goal of the year? Is it happening? How far are you? What does your vision board say? What have you checked off? All of this is a part of stepping up your game. Step up your game. So we step up, but we also have to know when to step down. And this is what I mean. When I wrote this, I thought about Dr. Miles Monroe, God rest his soul. I wasn't a fan. I mean, I had heard of him, but I really wasn't a fan of his, only because I didn't give him a chance until he passed away. And I really hate that, because I would have loved to meet the man. I would have loved to really enjoy him more while he was still here on this earth. Like, just the wisdom that comes from him, and the wisdom that I even feel even from his sermons now, is amazing. I really love his teachings. But I remember a vision or a dream. It was a dream that he had many years ago before he passed away. And he said that he had a dream of a runner, a Olympic runner, dying in a casket. And in the casket he was holding, the runner was clutching the baton that he never passed on to the next runner so that the race could be finished. And Dr. Monroe said that his interpretation of the dream was that many preachers and leaders are literally dying and not training up another generation, or they're not passing it on to the next generation. They're dying with it in their hand. And in order to get it loose, he said that the people have to pry it out of your hand when you pass away. And it got me to thinking about how in this season and where we are, especially with women, are we training up the next generation to be able to take our place? Are we preparing, if you're a mom, are you training your daughters to be the best women that they're going to be able to be? Virtuous women, women that are keepers of their home, women that will be good wives if they choose to be a wife. Or if you're a minister, are you training those young ministers under you, where that you don't have to be there? They can carry on the service without you. They can carry on whatever without you. Even in your business, are you training other people so that they're not going to have to work up under you for the rest of their lives? Are you the type of leader that's saying, look, you work for me in this season, but I want you to start your own business? Are you intimidated to train people because you think that they're going to surpass where you are? Teaching others is how to step up is part of our mission. Exactly, Mama J. Exactly. And I'm a little nervous because I believe lately I've been seeing so much jealousy among women. And I mean, women have always been jealous and catty, but it's in the season where it's getting really bad. And I want to say, it takes nothing from you to help another woman get to where she's trying to get. It takes nothing from you to help her take a step further. It takes nothing from you for you to help her step up her game. It takes nothing from you for you to share a few tips. There's enough room for all of us to shine in this world. There's enough meat for all of us to eat. There is no reason where we feel like we have to, we can't share information because we're afraid that somebody's going to do better than us. And I would say this too, a good leader, one thing I learned from Mickey D. Davis, a good leader always wants the person that they're training to surpass them. So if you're a mom and you're running a business and you're trying to pass that down to your daughter, the number one thing you should be thinking is, I want my daughter to go further than I am. Not, I want my daughter I want to be the best and I'm going to do this in my name. We're such a generation that's worried about titles, and we're worried about always being the person in the spotlight. But you have to say, no, God, I'm a Titus 2 woman who tells me that I am a trainer, I'm a mentor, and I am going to equip and I'm going to educate the next generation to go further and to grow past what I'm even able to do. And you want to do it while you're alive. I think that was another part of Dr. Monroe's dream, is that people were dying with the baton. You, as a virtuous woman, we should say, Lord, I want to see my children flourish. That doesn't mean that God's going to retire you early, but you got to know when to step down. There's too many people who just want to stay in the position just to say that they have it. Know when to step down. Ask God not to let you have the crab in the barrel syndrome, and know when it is time to pass it on. This is what God gave me, and then we're going to move on to the next step. The only way you get outshined is when you dim your light. So don't dim yourself by trying to go holding on to the wool and refusing to be sheared. Only makes you a fat, unattractive sheep. Woo, that's deep, Mama J. I'm going to read that again. She says, holding on to the wool and refusing to be sheared only makes you a fat, unattractive sheep. Someone needs your wool. That, boom, step down. I have to say no more. Thank you, Mama J. That's amazing. Step down. So we've stepped up, we've stepped down, and now we got to know how to step to the side. Step to the side. So, sometimes as women, we like to run things, right? We like to be in charge. We like to tell people what to do. We like to, hello, David, how are you? Thanks for watching Topics and Tea. As women, we like to be controlled. We like to tell people what to do. We like people to obey our orders sometimes. But when I say step to the side, this is what I mean. Sometimes we have to let people make their own mistakes. You know, you see this often in mothers. You want your children to not make the same mistakes you did. So you try to warn them. You try to run. They're glad I could catch up live again. Yes, we're glad to have you. You know, you don't want your children to make mistakes. So you try to either control their lives, or you're always telling them what to do because you don't want them to be pushed back further in life from a dumb mistake. You know, for people, prophets and prophetic people, you may be able to see a road that someone's about to do, or discern something that somebody's about to do, and you see that it's going to harm them. So you give the warning, but when they don't take heed to the warning, you overstep and try to tell them, well, don't do this, and don't do this. And what I'm saying is, people have to live their own lives. You can guide people, you can show people, you can give them direction, but after that, you have to step to the side. You cannot hold on to people and make them walk in the direction you want to. And it hurts sometimes, because especially when you really know that someone is about to make a mistake, and when you know that this could be something that they're going to take a long time to recover from, or it's going to be something that's going to really make them sad, or they're going to miss an opportunity. It hurts, but you have to say, you know what? I warned you, and I'm going to step to the side. And that's not a prideful thought. That's not a you better than them because you're not about to make that mistake. But I want you to remember this. Every single one of us has done something that someone before us told us not to do. And whether you admit that you're sorry for doing it, or admit that you shouldn't have done it, you know that you needed to make that mistake for your own learning. And that's what we have to remember with this step. Step aside, pray for them, say, God, you know, they're in your hands. I gave them the warning. I pray for them. I pray that you direct their path, but step aside, especially as a word for mothers. Let your children make their own mistakes. God's got them. Just train them up in the Lord. Pray for them and send them on their way. Step aside. You cannot save everyone. You cannot save everyone. Now, I did say step aside, but I also want us to know that we have to wait, before I say that. It's okay to step to the side and walk away. Okay, because when you step to the side, you're just to the side. But when you walk away, you have to do a whole 180 and walk away. It's okay to take breaks in certain situations. For some reason, we're sometimes people who hold on to things. We don't know that it's okay to just let go. Sometimes you and that person, you and that friend, you and that man, you and that family member, whatever, you guys just need a break. It may take 2 months and you can reconnect. You and that business idea may need a break because the CEO is not doing whatever. That's okay. So sometimes not only do you step aside, but you got to turn the direction of your feet and make a 180 and go the other way. Keep stepping, or keep trucking, as Eddie Kendrick says in his song. Thank you, Shantae. Thank you, Mama J. So we stepped to the side and walked away. But let's also talk about stepping side by side. Who are you in partnership with? Who is supposed to be your covenant partner in the moment? Who is it? Your husband? Is it your church family? Is it your pastor? Is it your family? Who is supposed to be with you in whatever vision or whatever dream God has got you on in the moment? Whoever it is, it's very important that you guys walk in sync. Because when you walk side by side someone, you guys got to walk in sync. If someone is walking too fast, the rhythm of the pace that you guys are walking is off. If someone's walking too slow, it's going to be too off. And then think about this. And this is something that I suffer with. For whatever reason, I don't have a drunk person walk. I can walk in a straight line, but for some reason, whenever I'm walking side by side with somebody, I can't walk straight. I find myself looking at them, and whatever side they're on, somehow one of my feet always just kind of cross in front of the other, and I find myself always bumping them. And when I'm bumping them, it causes two things. It either causes them to be completely frustrated, So they either stop walking and it's like, Natanya, get your life together. Why can't you walk in a straight line? Or I find myself tripping them, or I find myself, because they're trying to avoid me bumping into them, now they're starting to walk crooked and they're starting to bump into other people. So downtown Chicago, this is one reason I don't do well with walking. No more wavering in your steps. Absolutely, Mama J. So what I'm trying to say from this, when you're walking side by side with someone, you need to make sure that there's no one making another person trip up. There's no one making another person get off of the alignment, get off of the pathway. There's no one making the other person or the whole team go to the side because they're unable to keep a straight path. So in this season of whoever you're supposed to be walking by, communication is the big thing. Clarity is a big thing. Making sure you both are the same page are a big thing. Even the Bible says two can't walk together unless they agree. So we have to make sure, okay, are we both on the same page? Our assignment is this. Our mission is this. We're going to get there by this. That doesn't mean that you guys won't have times where you maybe clash or you maybe bump heads. But there has to be some type of line between, okay, we can't agree on anything or we just disagree on a few things. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are walking in sync with the person who is supposed to be your partner in this season, and make sure your walking is not distracting them from the path that you guys are about to take. Next, so we've walked side by side. Now we also need to walk behind. We need to walk behind. I call this step two things. I call it two things. I call it the intercessor steps, and I also call it the bodyguard steps. And this is why. We're in a season, everybody loves the front. Everybody loves the attention. Everybody is all about, being called all the titles that they want. Everybody's all about getting all these accolades and getting acknowledged for all these great things that they're doing. Everybody wants everybody to follow them on social media and all this kind of stuff. No one wants to be in the behind the scenes. No one wants a no name. No one, we're in a season where people don't understand the humility and just working behind the scenes. But the woman who walks steps behind has to be there so that she can intercede. I can't be in the front and see things that I'm supposed to be protecting the person I'm protecting. I can't see their danger. If a bodyguard does not, sometimes they do, but usually a bodyguard walks behind the person that they're protecting. Because if somebody's coming from the side and they're about to attack, or somebody's up there and they're about to attack, they have to make sure that they can push that person out of the way. They can grab that person. They can redirect that person. They can lift that person. If that person falls, the person's right there to pick them up. It's the same way in the spirit. There are people, we are women who have to know there's some people we need to be behind. We need to be support. We need to be their prayer warriors. We need to be their number one support systems. We need to be those people who are protecting them from the darts of the people who are throwing darts from them in the front. So we have to be, hello, who just joined? Hello, hello, hello. We have to be women that don't care about being seen. But just like a bodyguard, you can be in all black. You can have your shades on. You can be in a low profile. But that does not mean that you're any less, hello, Miss Williams. That does not mean that you're any less strong than the person who's in the front, because you know your position in the back. Okay, so we talked about walking side by side. We've talked walking, stepping up. We've stepped back. We've stepped down. And now we're going to talk about stepping over. Stepping over. Hello, my Leonard. We're stepping over. What are we stepping over as virtuous women? We're stepping over any obstacles that's keeping us from moving or stepping forward. And how do we do that? Anything that's in our way. That may be criticism, people lying on you. That may be rumors. That may be loss of finances and jobs. That may be friendships that have ended. Anything like that. We have to say, I'm not going to let this deter me from where God wants me to go. I'm going to keep moving, and I'm going to step over anything that is in my way. So we have to say no obstacle can keep us from our destiny. No obstacle can keep us from our purpose. No roadblock can stop us as women of God. We have to learn how to step over them. Step over them. Now, even though we're stepping over, there's some things we got to learn how to step around. And this is what I mean. Stepping around is a detour. I'm saying yes. Don't let anything stop you from getting there. But sometimes God takes us on a detour for many reasons. One reason may be to strengthen your faith. It may be to strengthen your endurance. It may be to teach you a lesson. It may be because of a mistake in another step that we made. That's why we got to learn how to step around. It also may be because you desire too small. You know, and what I mean is, like, sometimes you can think that you want this house, and you could be putting an offer for this house, and you can be prepared to get this house, but God's got such a bigger house and a bigger and less expensive house for you. So, you know, this deal takes forever to close. So he's taking you around a detour so he can show you, I've got better for you from even what you thought you wanted. It's okay to want what you want, but I've got better. Always take the better. Sometimes waiting is because something special is being prepared. So as virtuous women, we have to say, okay, Lord, help me to be able to adjust quickly. Help me to know when I need to make other arrangements because you've got me on a different path. Not saying that you're taking my focus off what you've got me focused on, but you may be taking me around. Just like a GPS, it's still got your destination, but it may have to take you around if there's some accidents or some detours or some constructions on your road. Hello, Prophetess Gina. How are you? Hello, hello, hello. We're talking about taking steps as virtuous women. So we never stop moving, never stop moving. So we're stepping over, we stepped around, we've stepped side by side, we stepped up, we stepped down. Now we're going to talk about how hold on one second, guys. I think either my computer deleted one of my steps or I didn't write it down. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep going. Doesn't matter. Sorry, guys. So I want us to think about something really quick before I move on. Your steps are affected by the shoes that you wear. I can't go mountain climbing in high heels. I will break my ankle because the high heel will not have the right sole or the right strength to grip the rocks in the mountains. It will put me in a different height where I won't be able to climb effectively. You know, I can't wear my ballet slippers out in 0-degree weather because they're not made to endure the temperatures of snow and freezing temperatures. So what is our spiritual shoes? Our spiritual shoes are our mindset. In every single one of these steps, just like shoes are important in every place you go, you got to wear the appropriate shoes. And every single one of these steps that we're taking, we have to have the right mindset. We have to put our mind in a certain place. There's a desired benefit connected to our steps. Absolutely, Mama J, absolutely. I can't want to step up and I've got the mindset of procrastination or the mindset of it's going to come to me easy, or the mindset of laziness, or the mindset of I'll just make somebody else do it. No, I've got to have my mind in the place of I'm a go-getter. I'm going to do this come hell or high water. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to sacrifice whatever needs to be sacrificed. So that's what I mean by our spiritual shoes affect our steps. We have to make sure that we are prepared in our minds for what God has got us doing. Make sure you are prepared. So in saying this, making sure that you're prepared and asking God to direct your steps, just this week, I had a great friend of mine message me about something going on in her home. And I told her, I said, you know what? You need to have your husband start anointing your shoes, your feet, and the doors in your home. And I said, and ask God to direct your steps and order your steps and close the doors that you don't need to be going in and out of in the spirit. And that's the same thing for all of us. We need to ask God, okay, Lord, anoint my feet, direct my feet, order my steps in your word. That song was stuck in my head today. Order my steps in your word, lead me, guide me every day. We need to say, God, I want my steps to be ordered. I want you to be the chief of direction. I want you to show me where in my life I need to step up, back down, to the side, and all of this. So our assignment, even though I didn't part this as our assignment today, part of our assignment today is to make sure that we are anointing, make sure our steps are in step with the Lord. Absolutely, Mama J, absolutely. And that's another thing I forgot to say is that just like walking side by side, the rhythm of the walking is important with the other person. That's actually important with all of the steps. We need to make sure that we are moving in the timing of God. If God is saying step up and you're taking too long, you're going to miss an opportunity. Not saying that God isn't going to still bless you, but you're missing things because of your disobedience. If he's saying stay behind, if he's saying, stay to the side or whatever, and you're dragging your feet or moving ahead of them, you could be also misleading other people. So exactly, Mama J. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. So we talked about how we step. So let's have our tea. And then we can go home because it's almost 10:30 at night. Let's have our tea. For those of you who are just joining, I'm drinking out of my Boss Lady mug. On the inside it says, I am not bossy, I am the boss. It's one of my favorite mugs. This is apple cinnamon tea. So our tea, which is our takeaway. Our takeaway is steps have to be taken, but we have to have wisdom concerning the direction. So period, steps have to be taken, but we need to have wisdom concerning the directions. The directions is what we went over today. E is our equipment. Our equipment for this week, we've got two. In my mind, I'm seeing the precision of military steps. Absolutely. Oh, whoa. That's good, Mama J. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now I hear it. And I hear it with the sounds of those, is it the lame of the flags that we have that make that sound? Absolutely. I see. Ooh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Mama J. Psalms 37:23 is our first scripture of the day. And it says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and his delight is his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. The next verse we have today for our equipment is Psalms 119:133 that says, direct my steps by your word, and let no iniquity have dominion over me. Redeem me from the oppression of man, that I may keep your precepts. May your face shine upon your servant, and teach me your statutes. That is probably one of my current favorite scriptures because of the words, direct my steps by your word. For where I am right now in my life, every single thing I'm like, Lord, I need direction. Where are you leading me? What timing are you leading me? I don't want to go too fast or too slow. And our A is to daily ask God to be the commander and the chief over our decisions, over our steps. Ask him to give us wisdom on how to step, when to step, and the direction to step. That is our daily assignment to ask the Lord. Okay, I love you, ladies, and and gentlemen. Thank you. Actually, two gentlemen. Thank you, David and Philip, for joining today. I love you guys. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and remember to anoint yourselves, anoint your children, anoint your shoes, anoint your feet, and ask God to order your steps so that you are not making mistakes, but you are moving in his timing and his will and his direction. Okay, I will see you all next week. See some of you tomorrow for P4W, Pearls of Wisdom, on a Wednesday for a Wonderful Woman. And I will see the rest of you next week for Topics and Tea. Thank you. And thank you, Mama Jane. Thank you, Miss Williams. Bye-bye, everybody.